Hi, I'm Tracy Schuhmacher from the Democrat and Chronicle, and I'm here with Daniel Budmen, owner of Scout Vineyards. But I'm catching you at your day job, yeah?
That's right. I'm currently in the cellar at Belangelo Winery in Dundee, New York. This is what I do Monday through Friday, and Chris and his family have been gracious hosts for Scout Vineyards in helping us get our start. So they've given us the space to put some of our equipment and make some of our wine, and that's where I am today.
And how is it? Like, is it nice and toasty there?
I wish. I think that our late summer, beautiful fall might be coming towards winter because I'm adding layers and layers every morning as I head into work. So I am a little chilly. That's why I'm wearing my jacket, probably 2 or 3 sweatshirts and a hat today. But it's nice to see things winding down, and we're certainly grateful for a beautiful fall.
Yeah, it's the glamorous life of a winemaker, right?
That's right. That's right.
You sit around and taste those wines all day.
Sunshine and rainbows every day.
Okay, so we're here to talk about just kind of one of your fun wines that caught my attention when I was at your winery a few weeks ago. So I think probably, experienced wine drinkers know about Beaujolais Nouveau and what that is. But to frame what your wine is, why don't you just describe what that is a little bit?
Sure. So Beaujolais Nouveau is basically Gamay, which is a grape that's grown in the Beaujolais region of France. And what they do is to gently extract this red grape. Instead of doing punch downs, which is a way that we get color and tannin out of red grapes, they just bring the harvest in. And once the grapes are harvested, they throw them in a tank, pump that tank full of carbon dioxide, and add heat. And so you're not doing any manual breakdown of the skins. You're just allowing the skins to gently break down over time with the addition of CO2 and heat. And so because that process is so gentle, you're pulling out really the best of the grape. Really nice color, really nice fruit flavors. And so the idea behind the gentle extraction is that fermentation happens somewhat quickly, and it makes a very easy drinking wine early on. And so typically when we do manually break down the skins, those wines have to go to barrel for anywhere from 12 months to 2 years to kind of settle down. But because this is so gentle, it is usually filtered and bottled and released on November 15th for people to have people enjoy it with their Thanksgiving dinner. So that's what Beaujolais does. And we've decided to do a little style of that ourselves this year.
So you're doing that with a Marquette grape. And you've made a varietal style of that already. I had that. So what inspired you to do this with a Marquette grape? And what is a Marquette grape to begin with?
Yeah, so to start with, what is Marquette? Marquette is a grape that was developed by the University of Minnesota about 15 years ago. And it's really a cross between Pinot Noir and a grape that they grow in the Alps. So the goal of developing Marquette was to get the flavor profile of Pinot Noir with something that is much, much, much more cold hardy and could be grown in Minnesota. And so Marquette is good down to around negative 28 Fahrenheit during the winters. We hope we never see that here in New York, but I'm sure they see that frequently in Minnesota. And my wife and I were traveling through Vermont a few falls ago, and a few winters ago. We don't get away in the fall because of harvest. And all along Lake Champlain, they had tried planting Cabernet Franc, but found that Cabernet Franc was not cold hardy enough, so they planted Marquette. We were extremely inspired by all the different styles that were being made there. So when we started our own label here in the Finger Lakes, we wanted to find some market that we could work with. And so there's a grower down in Hammondsport on Keuka Lake. His name's Randy Scotchber, and we've been working with his fruit for the past 2 years. And we did the same thing. We harvested the fruit, put it in a tank, got it, pumped the tank full of CO2, got it nice and warm. And about 5 days in, it was like the best raspberry jam, blackberry jam you'd ever smelled. It's just so fruity. And while we had goals of getting it in bottle before November 15th, we will be releasing it this weekend as we are a still catching up on some things late harvest.
So it'll be released this weekend. So what about that grape made you think it would take well to what they do for Gamay grapes in Beaujolais? I mean, is there something particular you were looking for, or was there something about the harvest that made it just right for this year?
Yeah, so this was really my wife's idea. She said Marquette came in so beautiful last year. 19 was a little bit cooler than 2020, but the fruit came in beautiful last year. I mean, really ripe, and because it was developed for Minnesota, it grows really well in New York and ripens very early. So this idea that we could, it was the first thing we harvested this year, that we could get it through fermentation, allow it to settle a little bit in tank before we had to filter it and bottle it. It was like, we're not rushing any type of timeline to try to make a wine we can't make. So this fruit came in early September, the first week of September, finished up fermentation by the third week in September, and it's just been kind of settling out, and it's delicious. We can't wait to share it with everybody.
So you know, when you hear about Nouveau Beaujolais, you hear about this whole berry carbonic maceration. Does that do something different from the grape than what you usually do for a red wine?
Definitely. So the skins of red grapes contain both color and tannin. And the way we extract color and tannin through a regular red fermentation process is either we hook a hose up to the bottom of the tank and we pump juice over the cap, which is the cap is the formation of skins at the top of the tank, because byproduct of fermentation is carbon dioxide, so it pushes the skins to the top. So we either have to punch those down manually with a tool to get those skins submerged back into the wine, or we have to hook the hose up to the bottom of the tank and pump that juice over the top. And so that is a much more aggressive process than just allowing the skins to break down naturally through with carbon dioxide and heat. It's just like boiling cranberries when you're making your cranberry juice. You're not mashing them up until the very end. And in some cases, people don't like to mash them up at all. And so think of it as just boiling those cranberries. Obviously, we're not adding water and boiling them. We're just using carbon dioxide and heat to start the breakdown. And then eventually the skins will start to break down more and more throughout fermentation. And you just get a very gentle extraction and hardly any tannin structure. So that's in part what makes Beaujolais Nouveau so easy to drink. There's not much tannin at all. Think about it as putting a bag of tea into a hot cup of water and taking it out 30 seconds later. You're getting the best flavors. You're not getting any of those kind of bitter flavors.
And I would imagine it would be sort of lighter in color than you know other red wines, or no?
That is certainly the case with Beaujolais Nouveau. Gamay that spends more time on its skins being manually punched down is definitely darker in color than Beaujolais Nouveau. Marquette has just these skins that bleed color as soon as they break apart. So it is rather dark in color for a New York State red, and we're excited about that.
Okay, so it's dark in color, and the flavor is
we're talking. Yeah, we're talking light and fruity. I mean, raspberry, blackberry, blueberry. You even get a little bit of banana on the nose, which is pretty interesting. But it is the perfect wine to pair with Thanksgiving dinner, because you're gonna be eating your stuffing. You're gonna have cranberries. It's just it's a delightful partner to Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay. And so is this going to be a wine that you want to keep in your cupboard till next Thanksgiving, or no?
So definitely meant to be drank young and early. We are certainly looking forward to seeing how it ages. I think just because of how quickly Marquette ripens here in New York State, it does have aging potential, but certainly a wine that we're looking forward to drinking with friends and family around the holidays. And I should say in small groups because of the situation that we're in.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, Wine has like 4 glasses, so it doesn't take a lot of people to open up a bottle of wine, at least in my household. But
That's exactly it, Tracy. We are in the same situation.
yeah, I mean, they're sitting over a long, long day. It's all good. And so if people want to try, I mean, I have seen, you know, young wines in the Finger Lakes. I've the Anthony Road has done a festival for a young wine. I know that Daniel's serves a young wine, so it's not like we've never seen a young wine in the Finger Lakes. It's just kind of interesting that you're sort of using the same fermentation and idea as what you would see in Beaujolais. Is what caught my attention. I think it's super fun.
Yeah, I mean, part of what we love, I mean, we love drinking old world wines. We also love drinking local wines. And Anthony Rhodes Federweiser event was always an exciting event to go to because you kind of captured a glimpse of what the harvest was going to bring. And so that's what we're hoping to do. We're hoping to bring a taste of the Finger Lakes and 2020 harvest home to people in November and December and get them excited about what 2020 has to offer, because while it's been a very difficult year in many ways, the silver lining for us as winemakers was this grape growing season, and we just had a fantastic harvest. We're very excited about what we have in tank and barrel, and can't wait to share that with our consumers.
Yeah, that's definitely what I've heard across the board in the Finger Lakes. Is just that it's just been a stellar season. So at least we'll have something good to come out of it.
Exactly.
So if people want to try your Marquette Beaujolais, that's what you're calling it? Marquette Beaujolais?
We're calling it Marquette Nouveau.
Oh, Marquette Nouveau. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Jeez. Anyway, so yes, Beaujolais is the place. Nouveau is what is the new. Yes. So Marquette Nouveau.
That's right.
Anyway, if people want to try it, how to purchase it?
So we will be open Saturday and Sunday this week from 11 o'clock till 5 p.m. And our location is at 468 State Route 14, west side of Seneca Lake, about 10 miles south of Geneva. And so we'll be open there. They can come in and taste it then. And we are also doing a promotion. You'll hear it here first. So if you want to order some of our wines, we are offering 10% off 6 bottle purchases with $10 shipping on our website, and then 20% off a case purchase and free shipping. So if you don't get the chance to come out this weekend and taste the wine, there's the ability to purchase it online at scoutvineyards.com. And we will also be open in the evenings of Monday and Tuesday of next week, the week before, the few days before Thanksgiving, for evening purchases. Bottle purchases only. Unfortunately, we won't be open for tastings, but our hours then will be 4 o'clock to 7:30.
And will you actually be tasting the Marquette Nouveau in your tasting room?
Yes, indeed. We're excited to get it out there and have people taste it.
Great. And appointments necessary to come and taste?
Yes, appointments are necessary, and you can book appointments online at scoutvineyards.com. And right at the top, as soon as you get to the website, there's a spot that says make a reservation.
Great. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll let you get back to work at Belangelo.
Yeah, Tracy, thanks for your time, and thanks for being a great supporter.
Thanks. Have a good Thanksgiving.
You too.